is going to be the Manchester United manager until the end of the season? Well, it's going to be somebody on this screen unless something crazy happened out of nowhere. Will it be Ole? Will Fletcher stay till the end? Will it be Carrick? Will they all be working together? I'm going to give you the latest on what INEOS's plans are, because the plan is apparently to bring in an elite manager in the summer. Could that be Enrique? Will we be able to get Enrique? Could that be another name like Nagelsmann? Vivel is a big fan. Could they try for Unai Emery, but they'd have to give Unai Emery a lot of power, and we know INEOS don't want to do that. We're going to talk about Manchester United's sort of manager plans and everything going on and why Man United fans are getting excited. We've obviously got our game versus Burnley tonight. Hopefully we win the game. I think it'd be really nice to get a win over the line, having not beaten Wolves, not beaten Leeds. We're not winning many games. We've only won 1 in 5. So I think Burnley's one of those teams we can beat. We just beat them at home. We almost didn't beat them if it wasn't for a penalty, which is nuts to think. But we should be good enough to beat Burnley, even with a depleted squad. So what I want to do in today's video is I just want to keep you guys up to date on everything that's going on in regards to the manager, all the latest Manchester United news right now. And I'll probably do a live stream late tonight before the game anyway. So let's dive into it. Solskjaer could sign a contract as early as Friday. Manchester United and their club legend are negotiating the terms of the contract right now. It looks like Ole is happening. But what is stalling it? Why isn't it done yet? Well, first of all, there's a game today. They might want to focus on that. It might not be done till Friday. Second of all, they haven't made a decision of Ole or Carrick. I think Carrick would like to be the main man. I think Ole would like to be the main man. I think INEOS would like them to be together, which would mean Carrick would be Ole's second man. I think what INEOS are trying to decide is, do we bring back Ole or do we bring Carrick in? Because Carrick probably has maybe more managerial experience as of late. Ole obviously managed United, so he has more experience, but Carrick did a better job at Middlesbrough than Ole did at Besiktas. Maybe they're going to look at that. But I think the plan is to have Carrick, Ole, and Fletcher all working together with Evans behind the scene, but Ole probably being the main guy. I think that is sort of the plan. And Ole wants the job. He's basically begging for it. He's basically saying he'd do it for free. He wants to make things right. And Ole could sign a contract as early as Friday, which is nuts. And they're negotiating terms right now. Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook said this: it's looking increasingly likely that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be returning to Man United. Talks with Solskjaer's camps are advancing. We know Chelsea brought back Lampard for a little bit. Man United bringing back Ole till the end of the season. It wouldn't shock me. Now, look, some people are really angry at this decision, saying we're a joke of a club. Some people are very happy at this decision. My thoughts are mixed. I think, this is an interim appointment. If it's till the end of the season, we don't need to deep it too much. What Man United need right now is just a lift of the mood. Not only has the football been bad, but I feel like Ruben Amorim sucked the life out of this club. I feel like he sucked the DNA out of this club. It was so negative. It was so... The vibes, there was no vibes, there was no mood, there was no attacking football. This club felt just like its soul had been sucked out by Ruben Amorim. Whereas with Ole, we had a bit of life to us. We had some good vibes. I know we didn't win anything, but we had some good vibes. We had some good moments. He got the players happy. The players, you could tell, liked being at Man United. He got the dressing room on side. And I think if we're looking at one of the first things that needs to happen is just reminding the players in the dressing room they play for Man United, love this club. Ole loves this club. I think having someone come in that actually loves and cares about the club, that could be big in itself. I think I have concerns around Ole tactically, as Ole is a coach. Ole breaking down low blocks. Ole, ran the same team into the ground and didn't rotate loads. I do have some concerns around Ole in certain areas, but this is an interim manager. We can't deep it. It's someone to try and get the best out of us till the end of the season. And we know that Ole will definitely help the dressing room and help the vibes around the training camp. And that can have an impact on the pitch. United set to meet Ole and Carrick before making final decision on caretaker manager appointment. Carrick as number 2 has been mentioned, but also talks about main role. I think what INEOS have in mind is bring Ole as number 1 and Carrick as number 2, but Carrick may want the main role. And there could be talk about Carrick coming in and doing the main role. I think United is sort of just figuring out what they're going to do. You can't rule out someone like McKenna. You can't rule out, because he's obviously got very good connections with Ole and Carrick, but McKenna's gone on to do his own managerial thing. There's a part of me that always thinks if Ole and Carrick did really well, would they just transition to McKenna in the summer because McKenna's kind of built off that because they all work together? Or are United going for an elite manager? Apparently United want to go for an elite manager in the summer, and they just want Ole and Carrick to get us to the end. Now, I would like Ole if he's with Carrick. I don't want Ole without Carrick. I think I'd like Ole with Carrick. We're not going to get Ole and McKenna, but Ole with Carrick and Fletcher, I'm happy with. Ole on his own, less happy with. Do you get what I'm saying? Sean Connolly said, United aim to bring in a caretaker who can provide a lift to the dressing room and fan base. I think Ole will provide a lift to the fan base for most parts. I think most of the fan base are happy Ole's coming back. There is some concerns. Are we going backwards? Don't go back to an X. But I think Ruben Amorim was so bad and he sucked the life out of this club so much that Ole coming back seems like, oh, do you know what? I'll take that. The Ole days compared to the Ruben Amorim days, wow, so much better. And I think Ole will lift the fan base, he'll lift the dressing room. And long-term officials are keen to stamp the club's worldwide status with an elite head coach in the summer. I think Man United made the mistake last time of giving Ole the permanent contract. And look, some of you could say it was a mistake. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe if we hadn't given Ole the permanent contract, we would have brought in another manager, and that other manager could have been awful. You know, Ole obviously got the contract after the PSG game, and we had a down bit after, then an up bit after. We got second and third finishes. I mean, apart from the trophies, you could say in terms of league finishes, he was our most successful manager. He just didn't get the trophies that Ten Hag and Jose got. But it looks like United want to bring in an elite top name head coach in the summer. It looks like it's going to be Ole and potentially Carrick till the end of the season. Could be announced by the end of the week. Could be in for the Brighton game. There's a feeling their first game will probably be Manchester City. And look, Ole loves the game against City. But let's see. Could be an elite head coach. Now, the three names being linked are Julian Nagelsmann, because they're linked to Christian Vivel, Enrique, because of this breaking report that Luis Enrique has refused to extend his contract with PSG because he wants a new challenge. Premier League is where it's at. And Unai Emery. Now, Unai Emery likes power. Unai Emery likes control. I don't think we will get Unai Emery because we're not going to give him the power and control that he wants. I think if we offered Unai Emery power and control, he'd come. But INEOS aren't going to do that. INEOS aren't going to give out power and control. Nagelsmann fits the INEOS model. He fits the Viral model, but he doesn't have the Prem experience that apparently we're looking at, but either does Enrique. The thing with Enrique is he's an elite level manager. But again, will he work with this board? I think Man United is that job that a lot of people say, who would want to go to Man United? Who would want to go to Man United? It's a graveyard for managers, and I agree. But then you're also like, if you're the manager that turns Man United around, you go down in history. Do you know what I mean? If you're the manager that can get Man United playing well, you go down history. You are the biggest club in the world. And I think the problem with Man United is it's not who wants to go to Man United, it's who wants to work with that board. I think every manager almost dreams of going to Man United, because imagine I'm the manager that turns it around. But they also are like, oh, is this board going to give me this? Is this board going to give me that? And INEOS have made it clear with this head coach thing that they don't really want to give up much power, which might make it harder for us to get top names. Let's also dive into final updates on Ole and Carrick. This was said by BBC Sport. Carrick and Ole are set for face-to-face talks with Manchester United leadership. It's not out of the question that the pair could work together. One player said they felt it was possible that the role could be shared by more than one contender, or Darren Fletcher could even stay in the job till the end of the season if the next two matches are positive. It's looking more and more likely it's going to be these three working together. It's looking like it's pretty much happening. But, as I said, we do have plans for the summer. Vivel's experience from Red Bull is becoming influential, potentially making Julian Nagelsmann a summer candidate. Nagelsmann's a summer candidate. There's been links to the likes of De Zerbi. There's been links to the likes of Oliver Glasner. It's clear that we're looking at something to do with Carrick and Ole now. That's clear. But in the summer, INEOS's plan is looking like a big name. A big name that's going to make big impact, that potentially could be a world-class manager. Now, I wouldn't say Glasner does that or De Zerbi does that, but Nagelsmann, Enrique, they could be that big name. Fabrizio Romano said that United are having face-to-face talks with Ole today and will also meet with Michael Carrick, and a decision is expected later this week. There were also reports yesterday that Ole could be announced today, but apparently Manchester United have not made a decision yet. And rather than announcing Ole today, it's more likely to be announced at the end of the week. I think United just want another day or two. They want to see how Fletcher does against Burnley before really making any decisions. Anyway, that is your 10-minute Manchester United news and transfer news. Why I say transfer news roundup? There's no transfer news because we're probably not going to do anything in the transfer window. But that is sort of your Manchester United news roundup on everything that's going on with the manager front. Is it Ole? It looks like it will be. Why isn't it announced? They're still waiting. They still got to have conversations with him and Carrick. Will Ole stay next year? Probably not. Who knows? Thank you for watching. Bye.